Hey everybody, welcome to Bradguy's Garage. Today we are going to work on the B-pillar. The bottom of the B-pillar where it meets the rocker panel is rusty. We don't want to buy a new piece, so we're going to repair it. Let's take a look. Okay, I think this is, for the rustier Mustangs, this is fairly typical. Where this whole bottom section, probably if yours was like this one, the bottom of the rocker panel and the bottom of the quarter possibly were all rusted as well. So how do we fix it? Well, there's several ways. I'm going to pick the easiest way, which is just to make multiple patches, making this piece and then this piece and then this piece all separately. Weld them all together and hopefully we have good luck. So I've made some templates already with some paper. How did I do that? I just took some manageable size pieces of paper and held them up, tried to make the shape that I think they should be, and this is what I came out with. It's one piece here. One piece there. I'm going to have to add a little bit of a flange for this piece. I'm going to add some length to this because it either needs a flange or it needs to start turning out. I can't remember. Next piece. And this piece, I'm going to have to add some to this as well. Okay, that's basically it. I'm going to have to add some here. Another good 1/4 of an inch for sure, just so it overlaps the quarter panel a little bit better. This is enough to get started. Now after you've made these pieces, using paper is flat just like your sheet, so you just lay it down on your sheet, trace it out, cut it out. That's what we'll do now. Okay, just clean this off a little bit. There's probably better things to use, but it's a glass cleaner. Yeah. There's a degreaser. Oh yeah, that's what we need. If you're using pencil or marker, it'll stay on the metal better if you have it clean. Because if you don't know, the metal comes shipped with a light oil to prevent it from flash rusting. Okay, this is the piece we were going to add some to, so we're going to I don't know what makes sense. We'll add some to the bottom of this too, just in case. Oh. This was the piece I was going to add a 1/4 inch to the edge of that, so try to remember that. A pencil. That show up? Yeah, that's good enough. Sometimes a Sharpie's better, but pencil's what I had handy. Oops. Moved. Try not to let it move when you're tracing it out. Hot tip of the day. This is where all the training during kindergarten come in handy finally. Unless you're into arts and crafts, then you're probably already an expert. All right. You're done with these for now? I'll just cut these out. I think I'll just square this off. This off. All right. This okay. Now you can press the sword pieces, so I have a flat right side. Better? Not perfect, but that's what Get the other cheers close to the line. Now I'm just going to get a little more accuracy with the hand cheers. Leading edge of the angle grip. If you're looking to throw this here, this is exactly where I would be your best friend. He's right there. Make sure see. Excuse me, I need to get on that. Okay. Now the cutting process distorted all of the pieces, so I'm going to hammer them flat before I get started. Better. Not perfect, but that will do. Okay, with the electric shears, I just came close to the line. Now I'm just going to get a little more accuracy with the hand shears. This is 18 gauge, so it's a little bit of a hand workout. Oops, shoot. That makes more sense. Alright, let's stop there. This has to be bent into a 90, which is going to be, you may have to take some of the form out of it to get it, because this is going to need a lot of shrinking to be able to bend 90 degrees. Which means the shrinker stretcher will be getting a workout. Also, I forgot to cut this little, this is to allow the wire to pass through in there, so it's kind of important. I suppose I could like leave it till last and use a hole saw or something, but anyway, that's the pretty much that piece there. Oh yeah, this way-ish, maybe like that. Yeah. Now this piece is going to have to match this one. Also, it needs to be bent into a 90 along here, which means it's going to require a lot of shrinking on this edge as well. Let's see if I can get that close. Close enough for now. So, and finally, this piece here, there's a little kick out. That's for there. Plus, this is going to be bent into a 90. This piece is pretty much straight, and then the last little bit kicks out for spot welds. So we'll leave that for now. Oops. That's really sloppy. Yeah, now that something like that. Yeah. Totally fine. Okay, now let's take these pieces over to the bead roller. Now, if you don't have a bead roller, you could always use the edge of your, like an anvil, or the edge of your vise maybe. You could probably use a pair of adjustable wrenches and very slowly Alright, grab a set like that, close it up so you can slip it on fairly easy, but not too tight, not too loose either. And you can just line that up with your line and just slowly, bit by bit, tip it up. Might help you if you have it clamped into something. Didn't move much, but once you do it a little bit, you do it a little bit more, until you've got it close enough that you can hammer it home. This is way, like just feeling this angle's, I'm going to have to flatten this off to tip it, whether with these or with the bead roller, and then slowly shrink this area down until it will tip over to a 90. But anyway, that's another little trick, especially if you don't have a bead roller. So that being said, just flatten this out. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to be more flat than it was. Let's try that. Goes down until you make contact, just about there. I'll give it another full turn, I guess. First pass mostly is to start your crease. Give that a little bit more. Now, second pass, pull up slightly. And just keep going, putting upward pressure. Watch your fingers, try to keep it straight. Now you can see how this isn't wanting to bend. It was there for some reason, but I guess maybe. Anyway, time for the shrinker. Doesn't matter which way you're facing when you shrink it, just whatever is easier for you. So I'll start up a little bit high. So I'll step. It's working well because when I shrink it, now it wants to bend up. Okay. Back in the bead roller. Upward pressure. Oh, keep it on track, of course. Ooh. This piece is so small. It's hard to. Okay, now my shrunken part is actually bending better than the rest, which is very interesting. Okay, that's looking better. It's the shape is coming back in it. naturally because it's being shrunk accordingly. I may bring this over to the anvil and tip it with a hammer. Start with this guy first. Right here, I guess probably because I don't have proper leverage when I was pulling up, so it's kind of gotten out of shape right here. So we'll see if I can flatten that down. Yeah, it's better. Okay. Now, turn this around maybe. Okay. Now, holding this somewhat on the corner, right here to the inner edge, try to slowly tap that to a 90. Okay. I try to get them to match up as closely as possible. They don't exactly match up, but a couple love taps in the right spot, and they'll be perfect. I think this is going to be acceptable. Now, when I trace this out, I think it lined it up to be way up here. I like the way it fits, the way it almost comes down right to where the factory one came down. It's like not exact, but like it's not going to matter. Like the other side of the car isn't the same anyway, and you can't see both sides of the car at the same time. So like you're going to look at this and you're like, oh yeah. Well, hopefully you look at it and you don't notice that anything's been repaired, but you got what I'm saying. But yeah, I like the way that fits. Now, this one, oh no, they actually have them lined up here. I'm actually going to have to, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to have to trim this one down so it will tee off on the edge of this guy. Like that. And then this little bit of a bend this, bend that. Tap this, tap that. Trim this, trim that. Trim this a lot. Let's try this piece. Same thing. Oh yeah, same thing with this piece. I gotta make a cut. This edge will, I guess, cut like a pie shape out of it, so I can bend this one over this way and this one over this way, so it has a spot weld area on the, or maybe I kick it off on the inside. Maybe you can't see where it was spotted. Is that how the other? I don't remember how it goes factory. But it looks like this one's going to fit okay, I think. Oh, maybe not. I'm going to have to stretch. There is a curve, which I should have seen, but I didn't see. So, around this area here, I'm going to have to use the kick stretcher to stretch that out to shape. So, still a lot of work to be done. Alright, it's coming along here. I cut the hole for the wires to fit underneath. I've trimmed this down on this edge here. I bent this somewhat flat. It needs to be, there's a weld underneath. It needs to be ground down, but temporarily and somewhat in place. Same thing on this one. This one was formed fairly well, so I made this edge line up with this edge. It's pretty good. I've trimmed the bottom up, stretched this out so the shape is the way I want it. Got the flanges going here. Looks good. Alright, it's the next day, and I went ahead and peeled back the quarter panel skin, and kind of glad I did. It's starting to rust a little bit from behind. Good time to catch all that. However, now I know exactly where the rust starts and stops, which is perfect because this piece more than covers it. So I am likely just going to knock off an inch and then trim it accordingly. Okay, I can only clamp one of these in place. So I got some my witness marks so I know where it needs to be. We're good. Get one more in there. Last piece. Mm-hmm. Okay, there you have it. Patch made the easy way. Probably would have made more sense to keep this at the same length, make it easier for cutting in. Keep that in mind if you're doing this yourself. Now I'll just have to cut off this weird shape off the B-pillar. And the back, pretty clean. I'll just have to give it a quick grind where I had to fill that little area twice. And this patch is good. This one's good to go. Hopefully everybody got a better idea of how you go about fixing something like that versus replacing the entire panel. Please, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell so you get notified for the next video. See you on the next one.